Hello and welcome, y'all. Today we're going to be taking a look at Enshrouded. So the game has had a lot of updates and a lot of new players recently, and I figured it'd be nice to have a helpful guide giving locations for some pretty OP weapons for beginner players. A lot of you may already know about these weapons and may already use them in the game or have used them at one time, and that's okay. So I just hope it helps out for anyone who may not be aware of these. So we're going to have a bow, two swords, and we have a shield. So I'm going to go through where to find each one of these and basically how you can acquire them yourself pretty early on in the game. I believe for the highest tier flame altar you have to have, I think, is a tier 3 once we get to that one. But yeah, you can still get them pretty early on. So we're going to go ahead and hop to it. The first one we're going to be taking a look at is the Wailing Blade. So this one's pretty cool. It has like a glowy, flamey end to it, sort of. Kind of like a lightsaber, I guess, but not really. And it's actually pretty good. As you can see here, once it gets fully leveled. So it's not bad for a starter weapon. We'll go ahead and jump to this one. So for the Wailing Blade, it's right across from where you have your starter base, from where you start off the game, basically. So once you get to the Ancient Obelisk and the Ancient Vault for the Alchemist here, it's kind of in between. It's a little cave called the Scavenger's Stash. That's exactly what we're aiming for. So we're going to go ahead and make it our waypoint. You can teleport from the Ancient Spire in Springlands if you really want to, or you can run up from your starter base. Either way is fine. So you've teleported in. Now we're just going to head over. Let's see. We go to the right. Once you get in here, we're gonna hop up here, and we're kind of just gonna aim straight down the middle here, in between the two boggy shroud locations. You can do this with a starter glider. You just might have to stop a little sooner than I do. I'm not in a legendary one. I'm just like the next tier up, so it's still not as good as you can get, but it's actually pretty nice to have. I do appreciate the better gliders. But like I said, you can go in here with the starter glider just fine. All you're gonna do really is once you land, just still head in the same direction. You'll head down the road here. Found a puppy? Yay! Alright. And then once you get down to this part where you find that mine with the wolf puppy, you are going to follow this path of grass and trees. You'll come across this little campsite here. You can go ahead and dig this out if you want to. Might as well while you're here, right? And then we just go about our way again. Just kind of follow the natural pathway up here. And you're gonna come across a road, and you're gonna follow this road all the way up. And it'll lead straight to the cave. Now you will have some traps and some bombs. There will be some enemies here for you to kill, but don't worry, they are pretty low level. I believe the highest level is a 6 or 7, from what I remember. So they're not too bad. I wouldn't come here with just nothing, but you shouldn't need anything too tanky to be able to handle them. And there you have it. So they are done. Now you can just walk into the cave. There'll be some stuff you can loot around if you want to. Nothing amazing if you want to harvest any stone, stuff like that. But there is a chest back here. You will need a lockpick for the chest. Just FYI. But here you have the Wailing Blade. And this will be here every time you either restart your server, like once you log out, log back in if you're playing single player. So that's pretty cool. So you have your blade. And like I said, it's a pretty good starting weapon. It'll hold you for quite a while, especially once you get it fully leveled. Next, we are going to be working on the Dragon Sword. This one is my favorite so far. I have yet to find one to take its place, but I still have a lot of exploring to do, so we'll see what happens. But this one is pretty good once it's fully leveled up. And of course, with the new gem system, all of these weapons can be even better than what they were before, which is awesome. So I definitely recommend this one completely. So this one is a little further away. It is in the Kindle Waste, right on the edge. So you do have to have your flame altar leveled up to a 2 or a 3, I believe. Can't remember which one, so I do apologize, but it's a 2 or a 3 so that you can get across the shroud here. You can go to the Ancient Spire, the Low Meadows, right here. That's going to be the closest one. There we go. Alrighty, we are here. We are in the Low Meadow Ancient Spire. We just basically have to fly across to where the cave would be. So we're gonna do like we do. We're gonna hop over here now. Gonna get some extra height. Okay. That area a little bit to the left is kind of what we're aiming for. We're gonna go there. And again, if you have a lower tier glider, it's okay. You might have to land, then jump again to get to this solid land over here. And that's okay if you don't have a higher tier glider. There we go. And then you just follow the path for a little while. You're gonna come across this grave site here. And then what we're gonna do, as you can see, the dragon cave is behind us. We're gonna go behind us. We're gonna follow this natural path up. Just kind of keep Skyrimming it up here. Double jump, I highly recommend as soon as you can get it. It's going to save you a heck of a lot of stress. If you don't have double jump, it's okay. Just make sure you bring a pickaxe with you because you might need it to make little divots to jump, you know, to latch onto and jump up with. But either way, just come along here. As you can see, right here, it kind of curves in a bit. I do have to use my pickaxe to get a little bit of a divot. There we go. Now I can get up and we're good. So there you go. Now what we're looking for this dragon cave is going to be a big old hole in the ground. There are a couple other entrances to the cave, but to me this one's the easiest because you don't have to worry about any real enemies, nothing crazy. You're just going to hop and glide all the way down. There are going to be two purple wisp looking enemies down here. You do not have to fight them. You can just kind of run and dodge and they will eventually explode themselves. For me, because I have the skills for the creatures to not aggro unless I hit them first, they're not going to bother me. If you have that, you're golden. Don't need a lockpick for this chest. Just walk up to it, open it, and there is your dragon sword. As you can see here, without it being leveled, it's still pretty decent. But then once you get it fully leveled and you get a gem in it, it's even better. I highly recommend this sword. Again, it's still one of my favorites to use even now. Next, we have the Hail Scourge. So this one is actually pretty cool looking. It kind of glows in the same way like a wand would, or it could take the place of your torch even in a lot of cases. To get this one, we're going to head to the Springlands Ancient Spire. And we're gonna go past the scavengers there to Lone Thistle. We're gonna kind of aim for that. Alright, we're gonna go right down the middle of the shroud here. Same as before, if you don't have a higher tier glider, you just have the basic, it's perfectly fine. You'll probably drop off below and then have to jump again. But you can definitely make it, so it is alright. But once you do land, you're gonna aim for this road here. And you're going to follow this for a bit. And if you look off to the left, you'll start to see this ancient kind of ruins looking thing on top of the hill or mountain. That's what we're aiming for. So you're going to go up there. And then to the right of it, there's going to be this slant, this hill that you can run up. You might have to do a few jumps, but you can definitely get up there, especially if you have the double jump. You will be fine. Keep working your way up. There we go. All right, so down here you see the shroud. You're going to go down carefully. There we go. And we're looking for a dead tree that is sticking up because that's the easiest way to kind of aim for the graveyard now that everything's a bit more foggy than what it used to be. It's a lot more dense. So you're going to go down gently here, a little more gently than me. You're going to have some bugs to kill probably, but it shouldn't be too bad to take them out. You do have a couple of options with these gravestones. You can try to do the stealth thing where you don't have to fight any of the enemies. Can possibly do that, but for me, I just killed this one guy. I believe they're level 11. And then you can go over to the grave on the left, dig a couple times, you get to search, and there you have the sword. Now with the shroud, I know more than likely you won't have as much time built up as I have because you won't be as high of a level, so we're gonna have to go find somewhere safe quickly. So I definitely recommend following this path over here all the way up to the alchemist's home. Go in these doors, you can close them behind you to try to keep some enemies out. You're really only gonna have a few bugs that probably follow you in. You can take them out. There's a time restore right there. Here we go, we're just gonna take them out because they're a nuisance. But you go upstairs and then boom, you're out of the shroud. So at this point, you can just teleport home, but we're safe now. We can take a look at our Scourge sword, and it does look really good. So this is another good starter weapon that can hold you for a little while through the game, especially when it's fully leveled and has a gem, and it's pretty. So can't beat that. With the next item we're looking at, having two swords, you're gonna want a shield to go with it, right? Of course. Don't worry, I got you. So the Pikes Bullwork is a shield you can get fairly early on in the game, thankfully. All you have to do is go through the Mistbury Catacombs right here. Go to the Springlands Ancient Spire. We're going to run over to this corner here where you see the floating islands. There's two kind of little hill or smaller mountains side by side. We're going to aim towards the right. We're going to hug the side of that smaller mountain. And if you're noticing this area looking similar, it's because it is. So we're going to go through this path again, and you're going to actually see the same ancient ruins kind of on the left side. This time we are actually going inside the ancient ruins. So we're going to run through the catacombs here. I'm not going to show the whole run through here because it is kind of long, but basically you're going to have to run through here, find 4 buttons to push to unlock a door. Once you go through that door, this is where you're going to find the shield. I may do a run through of the catacombs here in another video if y'all would like to see that. If not, it's perfectly fine. We can move on to other things. But the shield will hold you for a while as well. And it's also very pretty. It goes along perfectly with the sword we just picked up. So it looks good. The next item we're going to go for is the 𝓘𝓶𝓹𝓸𝓻𝓽𝓪𷸼 bow. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to get, but it is awesome. And this one will definitely last you quite a while. We're going to go up to the Riverwood Ancient Spire. And from there, we're going to aim towards the Envious Hollow over here. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. All right. Now, once we are here, we're going to jump off and aim towards the mountain right here. We're going to kind of hug it. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to jump down carefully. There's going to be gravestones here. You're probably going to have to kill some skeletons unless you just happen to get past them or just run straight past. There might be an open little spot there like there was for me on the map. You can just mark that. But basically, we're heading up there. As we go in this direction, we will come across a camp. We're going to go past that camp until we hit a road. We're just going to follow that road until you see a dirt path here. The dirt path is what we're going to follow all the way around until we get here. So this is where we find an abandoned hunter camp. You can loot around here real quick if you want to. You certainly don't have to, but there are a few chests and notes. And then when we come around to the right, there's going to be a continuation of the dirt path that we're just going to follow all the way around. And here we find the ancient bridge. So this is pretty much where the border for the world that we have access to right now is. So you can't really go beyond that at the moment. I do recommend placing down a flame shrine just so you have somewhere to spawn at if you do happen to die here. And I believe you have to have your flame altar leveled to a 3 to have access to this area. But what we're going to do is we're going to aim for that middle pillar. We're going to fly down and find this right here. We're going to go ahead and destroy the shroud root. There we go. So now we have a safe spot here where there's no shroud. We're not in the shroud exactly. So we have somewhere safe to teleport from. But now we're going to hop back over. We're going to walk down this little plank. And then we're going to zip line over here. There is a boss that's going to be under the bridge there. He's the one we're here for. He's what we're aiming for. I do recommend a ranged weapon because he can hurt pretty bad, but the goal is to go ahead and kill him. And it might take a minute because he's not going to be overly squishy, but just keep dodging. He does have pretty good reach with his weapon, so just make sure you keep hopping and dodging and keeping distance. There are ads on the other side of the bridge, so it's best to keep him on this side. And as you can see, I am a horrible shot with the bow, but even I was able to get him taken out. So there we go. The double jump will save you, so I highly recommend it yet again. Once he is dead, you do get some goodies, but we get our 𝓘𝓶𝓹𝓸𝓻𝓽𝓪𝓷𝓽 bow. This one is worth holding on to for a while, especially once leveled, and now once you have a gem in it, it's going to be super nice. I'm excited for this one. The good thing too is with us having that shroud route cleared, all we have to do is run back across to where we had cleared that route, and then we can teleport back home to safety. Once we're back home and we go to our blacksmith blacksmith or any of the crafters to look at enhancing the equipment or our weapons in this case, you can see what it'll give when you actually upgrade these weapons or even adding a gem to it. So the possibilities for these are pretty nice. They're going to stick with you for a while, so they are definitely worth the effort to get. And with the runes, if you do not have enough of the legendary, you can craft legendary ones at the blacksmith. So even that's something that's awesome. I haven't found a lot of gems yet myself, but I have gotten the bleeding and the gem of toxic betrayal. And honestly, I'm kind of excited about the gem of toxic betrayal. I'm waiting till I get it leveled before I put it on something, but it looks nice. I'm curious what gems y'all might have found. If you found any different or if you found more in general, please let me know because I'm really curious what's out there. But these weapons not only look good and they're somewhat easy to get right off the bat, but they are, again, worth the effort in doing because they will last you for quite a while. So I thank you guys so much for sticking with me today as we went ahead and took a look at these free weapons and a shield. And I hope that you are enjoying your Enshrouded adventures. Please remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my content coming in the future. I want to give a special shout out to the Chaos crew, especially our ultimate member, the Guardian 1970. I appreciate y'all. You are absolutely amazing and you're what keeps me going, so it means so much. I have a link to another one of my videos in the top right if you'd like to check that out. And remember, you are freaking amazing.